First, I welcome the Reform UK donor who turned his back on the Tory party, Zia Yusuf. Now, 64 migrants made the journey across the Channel today, becoming the first illegal Channel migrants under the new Labour government. They've been called the Starmada by some people. The crossings are expected to continue as long as the weather stays favourable, prompting fears that Keir Starmer's early decision to scrap the Rwanda plan will embolden people smugglers and push more people across the Channel into Britain. Well, Zia joins me in the studio now. Thank you very, very much. Well, Reform's election campaign focused quite heavily on illegal immigration, but with just 5 MPs in Parliament, you're up against Labour's 172-seat majority. What impact now can you guys have on stopping the boats? Well, look, I think firstly, the MPs that we do have, 5 amazing MPs, are going to do everything that they can within the context of, 5 of obviously many hundreds of members of Parliament, to the degree that they're able to ask questions and called upon. But obviously Nigel Farage is a world-class campaigner. He has done more than anybody to draw attention to this issue, not just recently, but for years. He's been going down to the Channel, drawing attention to the fact that the so-called border force are effectively acting as a complimentary ferry service, being paid for by the hard-earned money of the people watching this programme. Yeah, one of the issues with Labour at the moment, and we'll come on to this later on in the show, but these planning reforms. So they also want to build 1.5 million social houses across their first term in office. They've also said that asylum seekers will be able to live in some of those houses, right? So I just wonder, in those 5 seats that you guys have won, would you be able to give any kind of guarantee to your constituents there that that will not be the case in your constituency, so you're not going to end up with a load of new houses and they're going to be full of asylum seekers? Well, what I can guarantee is that the Reform MPs will be doing everything within their power, within the context of the constitutional power of an MP in this country. That I can absolutely guarantee, and highlighting it. I've met them all. They're all amazing, amazing members of Parliament. But look, a lot of these problems are essentially trying to... Look, clearly we don't build enough homes. Last year we built 215,000 homes. Net migration to this country was 650,000. So the population continues to explode. We can't build enough homes to house them. Obviously, Labour have been talking about housing illegal migrants in some of these homes. These are all problems that are both a supply problem and a demand problem, right? So there's a supply issue around homes. Yes, we do need to build more homes. We've got to do that in a sensible way with the consent of local residences. But let's be clear, there's also a huge demand problem. The demand is exploding because we've lost control of our borders, because we have no coherent immigration policy. And so while Labour can talk about building more homes, but it wasn't even one of their 6 priorities to deal with migration. You can see now the boats continue to come. There's absolutely no evidence that the problems that we've seen, and there have been huge problems under the Conservative Party, are going to do anything other than deteriorate at a more rapid rate under Labour. OK, well, we're going to have to watch this space, aren't we? But I'm quite keen to get your views on this. So Reform's election campaign was accusations of racism, etc., weren't there, of course. But Chairman Richard Tice sought to remedy this by highlighting the diversity of some of Reform's candidates. We can play a little clip of this now.
Apparently, we're all racists. Apparently, we're all bigots. Apparently, we're all xenophobes. Apparently, we're all far right. Apparently, we hate foreigners or people with different coloured skin. And yet...
Yeah, no, look, I get why you guys maybe did that, but I just wonder whether or not you feel as though that video was actually pandering to the kind of pro-diversity mob a bit, really. Well, look, I think we should we'd be well advised to take Martin Luther King's advice and judge people by the content of their character, not by the colour of their skin. That's my opinion. I think, look, the reality is, I can tell you, having met a lot of the candidates and people around Nigel Farage, there's people from all sorts of backgrounds, of every sort of person, and they're all great people. So that's what I'd encourage people to do. I think we've got to get away, actually, from, judging people on anything other than the merits of their argument. Yeah, I did wonder when I saw that go out again. I could see exactly why you did it, the timing of it and all of that stuff. And, there's a point to be had there, definitely. But I did wonder as well whether or not it was maybe playing slightly into the diversity brigade's mob. But your party's membership is soaring. You're promising new heights. So growing by nearly 2/3 in the last month, this is according to the latest stats I've got anyway. You've now got a total of 65,000 members who each pay around £25 a year for that privilege. Nigel Farage believes, though, that dodgy candidates cost the party a few percentage points in the polls. He told GB News reporter Charlie Peters that he's now focusing on building, what he says is a proper political party.
So the next big stage is to build structure around the country, to democratise, to allow people to pick their own chairman, their own treasurers. And once you start to get organic growth at town and constituency level, then you start to find the people that might make good local councillors. So, look, I'm not underestimating the magnitude of the job, and I'm going to have to try to be an MP for the constituents here, to be active in the House of Commons, and to lead the charge to build a national political party. It's not going to be easy for the next few months, to put it mildly.
Well, it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be easy financially either. Are you going to continue backing the party for the next 5 years yourself?
Well, I can tell you I've already spoken to lots of people who are very keen to donate money to reform. I think what's been achieved in this election is remarkable. 4 million votes, third in 98 seats, third largest party. By the way, done with a shoestring budget, done with Nigel Farage as leader for 4 weeks, done with no national infrastructure, and done with an openly hostile press, right? All but that last one, and now I can tell you going to be in reverse. We are building a national infrastructure. We are professionalising at rapid speed. There's a lot of people who are looking to donate money. And what I will also say to the people at home, the membership has grown dramatically in the last few days. I'd really encourage you, if you enjoy hearing from reform representatives, if you believe in the policy set and you really want to help make Britain great again, please go and join us. This is a 5-year plan to install Nigel Farage as Prime Minister in this country. I think we've got a real chance of doing that, but we're going to need everyone chipping in and helping us on that journey.
So you're anticipating not just yourself, obviously, financially fortunate, well deserved, etc. But other people, other wealthy individuals to come forward and be giving reform quite
well, wealthy individuals and also people who are not wealthy, right, who care deeply about their country, like the 4 million people who voted reform, like the many millions who I think are very sympathetic to the reform cause but didn't really think that there was much use in it, right, because there wasn't any chance of reform were going to form a government and perceived as not really having much chance locally. This is now changing, right? For example, in those 98 seats where we came second, right, the many seats where we came ahead of the Conservative Party, and next time around our argument will be simply that the Tories can't win here. So not just wealthy people, there are plenty of wealthy people we're speaking to, and I'm confident will chip in. But likewise, people who aren't wealthy, every little bit helps, and they become our advocates. It's been amazing, the energy and momentum. I put something on my Twitter recently just showing that we're the only party which has that precious thing of momentum and enthusiasm. The Conservative Party vote share obviously collapsed. The Labour Party vote versus last time fell, and the Lib Dem votes fell. So yes, we have an unfair system, in inverted commas, but we can and will win under the first past the post system. We just need to maintain this momentum.
OK, Zia, look, thank you very much. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Hope to chat to you again very, very soon. Entrepreneur and Reform UK donor, Zia Yusuf. Now,